Some days it's easy to get out for landscape photography, and others it's a lot harder. Today's definitely one of those days. You might think that the reason it's hard is because of the weather, but really that's only the icing on the cake. Can't get the lens cap off. Oh my god, it's a magnetic lens cap and I can't get my hand. No, I'm gonna have to take my lens hood off. Bunch of loose rocks and crap here. Just want to get down off the path. Oh. It was originally my plan today to head up to Springbrook for the first time in ages, and I was really looking forward to it, but I've had some issues with my back that cropped up a couple of days ago, and I actually have ongoing issues with my back, and it's basically ever since I went back to work. Anybody who's on my newsletter would know that I took a few months off to focus on the channel and my photography and things, and I'm back at work now for a couple of weeks, and each day I've been there it's been really tough, and I'm gonna have to figure something out for it because I can't keep putting my body through what I've just been through for the last couple of days. It's been pretty rough and shit, to be honest. So instead of sticking myself in a car for probably an hour and a half-ish or more, I thought I'm just going to come out basically almost in my backyard. I'm just on fire trail right near my house, and as you've seen, it's a really wet day. It's that bit where it's probably a bit too much rain for what I would like, but I felt like I just had to get out and do something. It's a very difficult thing with when you got physical problems of not pushing yourself too hard, but also it's often helpful to do something. And you got to kind of tread that fine line of doing what you can that's going to help you, but not doing too much that it goes the other way. And so, yeah, this has been my solution. Get out local. This isn't very easy for many reasons. Where I am at the moment is on quite a slope. It's a lot of the stuff underfoot is loose, whether it's loose rocks or a lot of leaves and bark, fallen trees, all this sort of stuff. It's raining on and off. We just did get a little bit of light through, like the clouds just thinned a little bit just before. And also, as well as some back issues, one of my knees is a bit sore at the moment, so I'm having to be quite careful as I scramble around down here. And then finally, the actual photography itself, because it's so busy in here, trying to separate trees, so you don't get ones too close together or bits kind of coming out the top at the wrong place of another one is really difficult. And there's also a lot of like small gum trees and things that are growing around here, which kind of get in the way as well if you get down too low. I do have, this heads down into a valley and there is another hill on the other side, so mostly I'm able to get in closer and not have any sky in the shot. And I do like taking photos of trees with slightly longer focal lengths to kind of tie them together a bit. And there is a little bit of low kind of cloud mist around. It kind of comes and goes. So yeah, hoping for the rains makes it difficult, but I think it also gives a lot of colour to the foliage and stuff. At the moment I don't have polarizer on. I may stick it on in a bit, but I quite often like that reflective light that you get off leaves and stuff when it's wet. We'll see. Something else I haven't ever talked about on the channel before is I actually about 10 years ago had to deal with a variety of kind of chronic health issues, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, insomnia, all that sort of stuff. And it's something that took a lot of time, effort, money to get over, even though I'm not probably I've never really got back to 100% of what it was before. Most of the time, it's like so much better than where I got to. I think 2016 was my real low point where, I could only work 4 hours a day at my job, and that was an absolute struggle. Like walking from one end of a shopping centre to another was exhausting. It was pretty shit, really. And that experience, part of what got me into that state was the mindset of just sucking it up and pushing through. And you can only do that for so long with your body before things start kind of falling apart. And so part of why I took some time off my work was not just to focus on the channel, but also because I could feel some of that fatigue coming back, and the time off really helped with that. And so I'm a bit worried about if going back to work is going to put me kind of back into a downward spiral with that. So I need to sort it out quick smart, because I can't keep going the way I am. But it's a funny thing with the photography with it, because it helps me a lot to get out and do things. And with the pain and fatigue and everything, I think, as I said before, there's a certain amount of that getting out can be helpful, but then you've got to be careful not to do too much. And it's a really difficult one for me to tread, and often I end up putting too much energy into things in life that don't end up, filling me up so much. And so I need to be mindful to put like my photography ahead. And I was going up to Springbrook and spending time in the car and driving. I thought I'm probably going to get up there and feel pretty crappy, so I figured just coming out locally. So I thought we have wallabies around here. I thought I might have heard one, which would be cool. We've got one that comes into our backyard all the time. Anyway, what was I saying? I'm waffling on too much. I'm waffling on. Anyway, my long and... I'll get back to this in a bit. sometimes you just got to do what you can do. And I have a tendency to try to plan what I want to do rather than what I can do. And that works with time as well. I have all this stuff I want to create, and what I've realised on the time off is that I have other commitments other than just this channel. And I also have, physical stuff going on. And just because there's all this stuff I want to do doesn't mean I'm going to actually be able to do it in that time. And sometimes, I got to push myself to get out when I don't really feel like it at all, which is like today. And I'm really glad I've come out today. Mind you, my back is not feeling all that great at the moment, so I'm probably not going to stay out too much longer. And I haven't actually gone very far from home. But the other thing is, just to not to give yourself a hard time for not being able to do everything you want. And there's lots of reasons why you might not be able to do everything you want. It could be physical stuff. It could be other commitments. There's all sorts of things in life that can get in the way of you actually always kind of doing and creating and everything, the stuff you want to do. And I think it's important to listen to yourself and to be kind to yourself. And I tend to have been known to be a bit of a perfectionist and give myself a bit of a hard time about things. So certainly that's one of the things I'm becoming better at. Not perfect, still got a long ways to go, but so that's what this coming out near home is, the compromise of not pushing myself too hard, which would be going up to Springbrook regardless of how I felt, and then probably having a really crappy time because I felt like shit. But not completely giving in to what it is I don't feel like coming out today. But to be honest, it's not a lot of times that physically I really do feel like getting out anywhere. I pretty much always have to give myself a push one way or another. Speaking of creating things, one of the things I've been in the process of creating for at least a couple of years now is a book. And cockatoos have been really cranky at the moment. A lot of cranky cockatoos going on. So I've been working on a book for at least a couple of years. I've actually got a second book / zine that I've also started working on, which I dare say, get out first as a kind of simpler thing. But I'm really, I love creating stuff. And as much as I enjoy doing my calendars, they are something that's temporary. You've only got them for a year and that's it. I want to create stuff that people can have, for the rest of their lives if so they choose. And what I've been realizing is you can't do it all. Like, I keep comparing myself to other people who circumstances in life probably are not at all what mine are, and therefore might be able to do a whole lot more than I'm able to do in the time. And that's not very helpful. So I've come to realise I need to prioritise things instead of thinking that I can just do everything. Therefore, I can't say 100% for sure, but most likely this is going to be the last year that I do my calendar, because it does take up a bit of time. I don't really sell that many of them. And at the end of the day, I really want to get a book out at least. I'd like to just, keep creating books or zines or something that's a bit more tangible and you can collect and keep. And I love buying other photographers' books and zines and stuff like that. I find it really inspiring. And so if you are interested in a calendar, I think I said that they'd be available to the end of August. Probably it'll be the first week of September to order. Make sure you get in, because it very well could be my last year of doing those. It's a funny thing shooting on a slope, because the trees don't necessarily grow completely straight. Sometimes they're on a bit of a lean, and it's better to take the photo, make the trees straight, than it is to, get it level with the level in your camera and make the trees look all weird and wonky, because it looks like you've stuffed it up when you haven't, if you do that. Something that has been invaluable today has been my lens hood. It has kept my front of my lens so nice and dry, even though, that you think maybe the wide angle ones don't do a great job because they come in from the sides. But no, I haven't needed to clean it at all. So I don't often take a lens hood with me, just because they take up a bit of space and can be a bit of a faff. But I tell you what, on a day like today, absolutely perfect. It may not have been the adventure that I was planning, but I am really glad I got out here, and I hope this inspires you to get out your door, even if you don't have the time or the energy to be able to get out far to do big things. I hope that it encourages you just to step out the back door and take photos, because even if physically I'm probably not feeling all that fantastic at the moment, mentally it's done me a world of good, because I was not a happy chappy yesterday, and I knew that I needed to get out here to improve upon that. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and want to see more of this area, check out this one on a really misty morning. It was beautiful. Get outside, get taking photos, and I'll catch you all next time.